All right, viewers and subscribers, Coach is this here again in a jubilant mode, and we have my brother in studio with us, Romain Burke, and we're gonna discuss Manchester United's victory over Crystal Palace. Romain Burke, what go on?
Feel good, man. We're gonna make this after every Man U game, you know.
Yeah,
After every Manchester United game, we're gonna make this happen, man. Feeling good, son.
So this is something that we could look forward going forward in the future, but we decided to do a little analysis of the last 3 games to see if we could, make it to the Champions League top 4 we're aiming for. So, Romain, what's your thoughts on the game?
It started off rough. Honestly, it started off rough for Manchester United. It wasn't a good start. With the midfield was a little bit overrun, and I think Scott McTominay in his role was pushed up a little bit too much, which led Pogba to be playing somewhat in a Matic role, which I thought, McTominay coming in was supposed to give Matic to rest, so he should be holding that midfield, but McTominay was playing a little bit too high, so we needed a whole lot of positional discipline in the first half, which we didn't get. Rode our luck very first 5 minutes of the game, but I think once Matic came on, you saw that the game changed. We started holding onto the ball a little bit more. You started seeing the team play the football a little bit more. But I do think the biggest part of the game, the first half, was the discipline that we didn't get from McTominay being our holding midfielder. I don't know what the plan was with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe he wanted Pogba to play a little bit deeper and McTominay being the one playing that number 8 position, but there wasn't any cohesiveness within the play. And the one opportunity we had to play the ball in and around the area, we scored that first goal.
Yeah, man. Very good analysis. But I think, though, Ole wanted to rest Matic for the upcoming games. We have a packed schedule there. So I believe that he gave McTominay a little run out today because we did not believe that Crystal Palace game would have been so tough. We started out very shaky. No fervor was in the game. It was just flat. I think Crystal Palace deployed a little strategy that Sheffield, or rather Southampton, did on us in the past few days, but they weren't so disciplined enough to keep it up. But pretty much,
the high press,
yeah, we closed off the game in the first half. The link-up play up front is superb. I love to see the link-up up front. Pogba had a better game than he had the last time. He was not that clinical, Pogba, in terms of his passes. Same thing with Bruno Fernandes. He got a roaming role. So he also gave away some of the balls at times. But because of the role that he was playing, I think he was brilliant as well. I somewhat heard that he was named man of the match. So he put in a workman-like performance. Let's talk second half.
Bruno.
Second half.
Well, the second half, we gradually got into it. I was on my knees after they scored and they got disallowed because I was like, no way this is going to happen again. I was on my knees.
Let's talk about that.
This man was offside by his toenails, bro. I don't know how this VAR thing works, but don't get me wrong. I don't think that's offside to me. In my opinion, that's not offside.
If we look at what they bring to us this season, if your whisker is in front of the other player, then that simply means it's offside.
Right.
Looking at it over and over, I realized that it was definitely offside.
Right, and I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I was glad the call got made, but from a perspective of playing the game and watching, loving the game and the flow of the game, that kind of call was just. It's just, they could let that slide. Remember when we grew up, them say always give the attacker the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Remember I used to tell you that didn't happen again, brother. It's not happening again. VAR now allow it.
Romain, it is so bad that if my finger,
your fingernail, bro,
then it is offside. Man, that rule is just crazy.
Yeah. It's just messed up, son. They need to. And if you put VAR into the game, then that has to be the way. If you take VAR out, then it has to be a crap ton of controversy all over again. So I don't mind VAR, and I don't mind the decision today because it went with my side. But and this was the other way around, would I probably I'll create a fit right now. However, I think when you talk about the second half, it was basically two parts of that second half, because as I said, once McTominay came off and we started to get that defensive positional discipline that Matic provides, then you started seeing the team playing a little bit more. You started seeing Pogba on the ball a little bit more in comfortable positions and not knowing that there's someone next to him or behind him. Bruno started moving and getting into the play more. At one point, for me, in my perspective of Bruno, I'm happy the way he is, because we've been crying out for this type of player since day one. We've been crying out for someone who's willing to make that difficult pass, take the risk and make that pass. At one point, we see the ball coming in for him in the midfield, and him flick it up and turn and try volley one part down the flank. And that pass we got through, that would be one of the sickest assists in the Premier League history, right? We need people like that. We need someone with the skills and the ability to make those, those passes and take those risks. And know that me as a Pogba get ready for sign a new contract. Happy days, bro.
I think our captain was a bit rash today, though. I think we got let off there on that penalty call.
I don't think it was a penalty though, because if you look, I feel like say Zaha actually leave the ball behind, and Lindelof kicked the ball and then the ball and then hit
all right,
Zaha.
Romain, you know
why
the
ball get left behind him,
You know why it wasn't a direct penalty? Because you and I know playing football, even if we get the ball and the man, it's still a foul.
It's still
right?
Yeah.
But because it wasn't that rush in the box, that the referee would say, hey, that's a direct penalty. So that's why I believe we got let off.
Right.
Definitely that was a foul.
And then I we have to remember, all of these players, all of these no calls go straight to the referee too, All of these no calls go straight to the referee, right?
Yeah.
So go straight to the VAR. You go to VAR too as well, and VAR look on it, and VAR must say, "All right, listen, this couldn't be a penalty." If you remember versus Manchester City, them call back a penalty like 3 minutes after the play pass, right? Because VAR look at it and say, "Well, Victor Lindelof get the ball, kick the ball, and then he follow through, touch him." I do believe that if you remember in that late night second half too, Zaha get round Maguire. Almost scored. They scored 6 and near post. Maguire was a little bit rash today. Him get a goal. Him get a clear goal. Remember that first half? The header? Him just make the ball lick him head. Bruno get that goal and lick the post. Like, Bruno have so much time in him, man. I man got alone there, the party. There's nobody else there. All I have to do is take one more touch and score. But hey, listen, if we talk about those two goals, it look like Rashford and Marshall are in a competition. You score, me score. Me give you give me. Because two of them assist each other today, right? I know both of them upon 22 goals. I'm just happy to see the man them must score. I'm not lie. I'm happy to see two of them must score. Marshall holding on to it, going over 22 goals, none of which are penalties in the Premier League this season. It's just a wonderful feat, and you have to buy him jersey. Simply said.
Yeah, man, it was a good game, and like I said earlier, the link-up play between the front attacking third, it just mad.
Yeah.
And them a pass some slick passes, some passes that split defense, some movement on and off the ball. Very, very good. Though, in spite of us winning this game, not playing pretty, it is still 3 points. And we have West Ham next. And then, of course, we're going to have Leicester in that final game of the season. So definitely, we're feeling good about this win, even though it was ugly, but 3 points, 3 points. Any final words, Romain?
His last two games are coming down to, I think it has come down to goal difference. I was looking at the goal difference today, and we dropped Leicester goal difference. 2 weeks ago, it was up to 9, now it's down to 3. And if we win next game and Leicester win next game, then obviously they'll come down to the last game of the season. If Leicester lose and we win, that means we still have to make sure so we'll beat them. So Chelsea still have to, Leicester have Tottenham next, which is going to be a rough game for them. And them also have Chelsea have Liverpool and Wolves. So it's going to be a tough 2 games for them. We just need to make sure so we do our job and get that 3 points and then see what happens next. So can't wait for the next game. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Next game. So viewers and subscribers, it's my in-house analyst, Romain Burt, the baller. See me I said, So next
Bless up
month,
yourself, yeah.
we'll be getting right back on here and on Coach's Desk. And we're going to discuss some more Manchester United. We're just going to give our little insight on what we think the game was like. So thank you very much for tuning in with us. Rami and Burke, definitely we'll link up again and continue this discussion until the end of the season.
Bless up.
Yeah, man. Big up.